You might be wondering why I'm not doing this live on YouTube. I don't want to deal with questions or anything right now. I'm just saying my piece and that's that. I'll deal with questions later. If you got questions, comments, post them and I'll do that in a separate one. Okay, this one's going to be on advocating. One of my favorite things to do as an advocate was to come up with surveys on traumatic brain injury. This was my favorite thing to do when I was attending Rose State. This would, of course, have questions on PTSD and disabilities. But I used to do surveys, letters, and stuff. I would just come up with research on TBI. Like, I would just come up with anything and everything to research on traumatic brain injury, like how, let's see here, how education is affected by traumatic brain injury, or how, like, when it comes to traumatic brain injury, how does education, employment, in those realms. Then I would do this big research thing, and then I would send it to various state and congressional leaders for Oklahoma. I loved doing that. Like, I would send it to a lot of people. I don't do it anymore, though. I went to one political event where a now former state senator told others I was someone you did not want to get an angry letter from, because I not only would say what was wrong with being like with what necessarily they had done, what I thought they were doing wrong and everything, but I would go into how it could be done better and etc. Then I used to frequently drive to the state capitol, which I miss so bad doing. I used to have lunch with my friends that worked there. Back when I had a vehicle that was in good health to make it that far. The most hilarious moment for me was when I had a meeting at the Department of Veteran Affairs with someone. And this had nothing to do with the VA. This had something entirely different. I drove past the armory that is going to be turned into, I forgot what it's going to be turned into. Forgot what's going to be turned into now. But something seemed familiar about it when I drove past it. And I drove like 2 more drive-bys before I went to the VA. When I parked, entered the VA, I asked if it was the armory where the 700th Support Battalion used to be, and the lady said yes. Now, I just wish I could go back in there and walk around and relive all the glorious memories I had from all the Christmas dinners from when my dad was a member of the unit. My father was a part of the motor pool unit when he was with them. He was with them until the last rank he was when he was sergeant first class, and then when he got moved up to the master sergeant, he had to go to another unit because they didn't have any room for that rank and everything. But I miss the Christmas dinners, and not, okay, yes, they had good food. It was really cool being in watching all the stuff go down and watching Dad and the other people do the drills and stuff. But my favorite thing was hanging out in the motor pool unit office and then going and playing in the vehicles they would bring in the garage. That was the best. So many fun memories. I want to go back in there, but I don't think I'll be able to but it's a wish. Very big wish. Okay, anyways, which this now also leads me to the next section of advocating. Nothing related to what I previously talked about. Yeah, my memories and stuff. Don't forget to partner up with others. There are quite literally over 12 types of traumatic brain injury from the 20 years of that I've researched it. I may have lived with it 24 and a half years since November 22nd, 97, but as soon as I started talking, among other things, I was asking questions about what I lived with. That's how I knew early on what kind of preventative measures I needed to take as a result of living with the left-right traumatic brain injury, and what a doozy it was going to be. Not fun. Talk with others, find a traumatic brain injury support group to attend, build yourself a network, are just a few things I would recommend. Do I attend a support group? No, I don't know where there's one. Don't know if there's one in Stillwater or if it's somewhere else. But I grew up with those that I grew up with in dance and knew from Chandler have been an awesome support group since I came home and everything. Then the veterans that I follow on TikTok and everything, they crack me up. They remind me of my friends who either were enlisted, and I don't know if they still are. I didn't see any of them at our alumni reunion that was at Rose State College a couple. It was sometime last month. They got me through a lot. After 9/11 happened, when it came to worrying about my dad being activated. My parents later told me they were amazed I was able to not just process, but handle what I was told and everything. It had to do with the vets that I went to school with and that I was really good friends with. They helped me keep it all pulled together. Plus, them and others I was friends with in college are the ones who docs credit with for me being able to survive and not land back on life support. Now keep in mind, I started college a year and 9 months after nearly dying. It's called I'm One Tough Stubborn Cookie. And oh yeah, my maiden name is Payne. So take that as you will and everything. There's inside jokes in the family about, the movie Major Payne and everything. So have a good one, guys.